Hello, everybody, and welcome to GEG New England Back to School with Google event. It is going to be a great time. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a fantastic show. We are broadcasting on YouTube, we're broadcasting on Facebook, and we are broadcasting through the New England states and, well, worldwide. I am so excited that you guys are here. We would love to hear that you guys are out there. Please do us a favor, leave a comment. And of course, we're going to be tweeting and Facebooking and YouTubing all night using the hashtag GEG New England. What is a Google Educator Group? I'm glad you asked that question. Tonight, we're going to be finding out just that and going through so many of the new Google updates that are coming out just in time for school. And we've got not one, not two, not three, 7 brand new things that you guys can be doing with Google's, all from amazing Google educators. What we want you guys to do is sit back and relax and join in. I want to bring on one of our first GEG New Englanders, Miss Jennifer Judkins from the great website Teaching Forward. Jen, how are you today? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jeff. Glad to be here. Excited that we're going to be welcoming kids back to school soon, and excited to share some things with people tonight.
You're what, Jen? You're tell me again. You're what?
It's good. I'm hoping for somewhat more normal year, and looking forward to kids.
I am so excited. School for us is just around the corner. We're starting next week. The PD is happening, and I am so excited about some of the great things that we're doing. But you know what? We've got more Googlers to bring on. I want to bring on Miss Jennifer Thomas. Jen, how are you today? Welcome to GEG New England. It is so great to see you, Jen. How are things?
It's great to see you, Jeff. I feel like I haven't seen you in a very long time.
We are here. We are going strong.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm like Jen. I'm psyched. Last year was kind of a doozy, so I'm looking forward to this coming year, and I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening in 21-22.
I am so looking forward to it, but that's not it. We have 4 more GEG New Englanders. They have no idea what order I'm going to be announcing them on. Eric Larson, how are you today?
Oh, hey. Great to be here, Jeff. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. I can't wait. We welcome new teachers back next week, and then the students are the week after. So it should be good. I can't wait for the year.
I am looking forward to the year. And you know what I'm mostly looking forward to right now? Miss Jolie Boucher-Janley, how are you today?
Hey, Jeff. So excited to be here tonight. Yeah, so summer's coming to an end, and I'm excited to start the school year. The teachers go back on August 31st, and I'm looking forward to a great year.
You know who else is waiting for a great year? Miss Edith Fodegrady. Oh, my goodness,
Thanks, Jeff. I am so excited. I actually start back tomorrow. Our students start back next Thursday, and I spent most of the year last year doing tech support, so I'm super excited to be back in the classroom working with students and teachers this year.
And working with students is all about what Christina Mazzilli is doing. Christina!
That's right. It's all about me. Yes. So it seems like excitement is the theme of the evening. So I hope everybody's out there is ready. We have exciting things to share with you, and hope that you get excited using them where you are too.
Excitement is all what it's about tonight. We want to have you guys out there. We see there's a lot of people watching live on YouTube and on Facebook. Please do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know that you guys are out there. We are here for you, and we have a great home that we want to share with you guys. Guys, tell us a little bit about the amazing new website, gegnewengland.com. Somebody talk to us a little bit about what you can find over there and how you can join Google Educator Group New England.
Jeff, Google Educator Group New England is a website and a group of like-minded educators that are really passionate about engaging students in the classroom and using Google tools in ways beyond sort of the usual thinking, right? There's so many different ways that these tools can be leveraged to make school an enjoyable experience for students and teachers. And so we're here to support each other in that work. And so Google Educator Group, to be able to be part of this group, simply navigate to our website, which is gegnewengland.com. And we're not limited to New England. We welcome all educators that are interested in continuing to develop their knowledge and skills around these tools. And from that page, you'll be able to see all of the different resources we have available. We are constantly updating a library of resources, and there's a group you can join for fielding questions with other educators, and you'll see our events listed there as well.
We've got some great things happening over at GEG New England. You can, of course, follow us on Twitter at GEG New England. And by the way, the hashtag is also GEG New England. But tonight is all about you guys and what you can do in your school classrooms this year using Google. And you know what? I'm thinking about this from a coaching standpoint of, if I just walk into my teachers and I say, hey, we're doing this Google thing, my teachers might look at me and go, so I've done this. I want to do something different. I want to do something fun. Well, we've got a lot of great things going on. And I want to bring up to the screen here Miss Christina, who's got some amazing things. Christina, are you ready to kick this thing off and show off some of the great things that you can do with Google?
Absolutely. So we said that excitement was the theme of the night. So let's start off with something exciting. So what I did with Google Slides using a template from Slidesmania, which we all know is amazing, is create this pseudo phone app using Google Slides. And I used it for kind of personalized and professional development and professional learning for the summer. I did this podcast playlist and I did a video playlist. So if you click on that try podcast playlist, that'll bring it up and kind of show you what it looks like. Looks fantastic on a phone, looks really impressive. It's not a lot of work on the back end. All you do is you edit it the way that you want to, and then you publish to the web. And once you publish to the web, that's the link that you're going to push out. And all of these things are clickable. All of those little icons are clickable. The three lines with the hamburger up in the top left gets you to another menu, which you can customize. I also did it for incoming students for technology support. So for our SIS, for our Chromebooks, and for Google Classroom. So when they click on each one of those buttons, they go to like a one-sheet cheat sheet about how to log in, how to do things, hoping to kind of give our IT support guys a little bit of a break from the inundating phone calls they get at the beginning. But think about different ways that you could use this in the classroom. If you had class information that you wanted to share with your parents, you could push that out this way. If you had a new unit of study, you could push that out this way. Anything that you can think of, we have our freshman admin that is thinking about pushing it out with everything that an incoming student to high school needs to know about coming to a large high school like mine. All the different things that they need to know, who to contact, where your schedule is, stuff like that. So all of these things are clickable when the link goes out for the slide deck here. I included my templates, also the links to Slidemania, so you can get in there and play and make it your own.
That is absolutely awesome. And we want to know, how can you use this with your students? That is what tonight is all about. If you're on Facebook, we want to hear from you. Please use the comments. If you're on YouTube, please let us know in the comments. And heck, if you're on Twitter or Periscope tonight, use that hashtag GEG New England. We would love to hear from you. I love this example. I love this idea. This is stuff that I've been able to do as a coach, both in middle school and even in elementary school. And it is a great way, as you said, to do something just a little bit different. But you know what? We are not done yet. There's so many other things that we're going to be talking about tonight. I want to bring on Miss Jolie. Julie, what is a Google Sheets plan book? I'm excited about this.
Yes, so I have played around with different apps in the G Suite, trying to determine which app I'd like to use for my digital plan book. And without a doubt, Google Sheets is the application that I use year after year. So if you click on the image or the template link, we can show the audience the Google Sheets plan book. So this is available at tinyurl.com/sheetsplanbook2021. And I do like to have a cover image. I designed my animated GIF in Canva. So if you haven't checked out Canva EDU, that's where I designed the GIF, and I just went to insert image. And I discovered you need to insert the image over a cell in order to have an animated GIF in your Google Sheet. So I learned that recently. And then at the bottom, if you click on the template tab, there's an example of the template you can create in Google Sheets. So at the very bottom, I have 4 templates. So here's the template that I created. I did make the header in Canva as well. And I have 5 different cells for each time block. So you can see at 9:15, I have 5 cells: name of class, objective, procedure, assessment, and links. You do have to put your links in a separate cell. So that's why I make sure that my links are separated from text. So if this template works for you, that's great. If you want to modify it, you're just going to right click on a cell and you can merge cells using the formatting tool. You can add or delete cells as you wish. And on the third tab, you can see an example of how it may look when it is complete. You can insert images. So if you want to put an insert, if you want to insert an image of, you know, a lunch bag for your lunchtime or a meeting image, I do like to include a lot of images within the cells. And I love this because I don't need to recreate the wheel each week. I can just simply go to the bottom tab and I can right click on the tab and select duplicate tab. So each week I just duplicate the template and I just add my new objectives and procedures and classes in. And it's so easy to share with colleagues, with a substitute teacher, with your administrator. So because it's in the G Suite, you just click on share and you assign the editing permissions. And this is what works for me. And every week I move the most recent tab up to the front so I can easily access this week's tab, because by the end of the year you have, you know, dozens of tabs. But it's a clean way for me to just stay organized and share my plans and collaborate as well. So that's my teacher plan book. Feel free to modify and use it as you wish and share it along with anyone you think may be interested.
That is absolutely awesome. We've got a lot of comments about that. To my GEG New England friends, what do you guys think about this concept?
I think that this is an amazing design, Jolie. I'm so very impressed and excited to share it.
Thanks, Edith.
Yeah, and being in Sheets, I mean, that means you can sort some things, you can do some functions a whole lot easier than in like a slides template. So I love this idea. Nice job, Jolie.
How long did it take you to put something like this together?
Well, I had a plan book, but I wanted to give it a little makeover. So using Canva, you know, took a few minutes here and there, but it probably took me an hour to redesign the template. But that's just because I wanted to have the animated GIFs and, you know, really customize it to what I want.
If you're looking for more information about this, one of the things that we have available in our slide deck, and of course you can always follow us at GEG New England, is this awesome blog post that has all the different details. Jolie, thanks so much for putting all this together. We will make sure that we pop all of this stuff out. But that's not all. We've got a lot more stuff to do here. Let's go on to our next event, our next presenter, and Edith.
Hi. So I am, if you put that in present mode, you'll have a little GIF that kind of demonstrates one of my big concepts for tonight. If teachers aren't aware about sorting their assignments using topics, that is one of the most important pieces of Google Classroom as far as I'm concerned. I know that students and teachers last year had a horrible time at my school trying to find their way in a classroom that had, you know, all of the teachers had access to one classroom, to whether it was art or music or PE, especially when we went remote. And so sorting your assignments by topic is hugely helpful. But then even by topic, you might have, you know, 10 or 12 assignments under that topic. And so students sometimes had a hard time even navigating that. So it blew my mind that we've discovered that you can add emojis in Google Classroom. And that adds a little visual to students and teachers as to what the assignment is. So whether you're going to add an emoji for a science concept or for math, we actually agreed in our school last year, 3rd through 6th grade, use Google Classroom as their management tool. And so all teachers agreed on what the emoji was going to be for math and science and social studies, so that if families were helping students, that they could easily scan and see what those assignments were, which I thought was really an awesome idea for the teachers that I worked with. And so you can add those in a couple of ways. You need to figure out, if you're a PC or a Mac person, how to do it. On a Mac and Chrome, you can just go to your edit menu and insert it. There's some shortcuts too to pull it up, but that was the easiest way to get them in.
That's awesome.
It is. And it's one of those things that seems so easy, but it never occurred to me until last year that emojis were possible. So you can add them anywhere you add text, essentially. Students will figure that out too, but use it as a tool for power. One of the most exciting features that people have requested for Google Classroom is rich text formatting. And so when you go to make an assignment, you'll see that the text, you can add bold or italic or underlined, and that allows things to stand out, which I know teachers have wanted, to be able to add some sort of, pop for their assignment, so that, they can really highlight in the important points in either an announcement or in their assignment description. A couple of other new releases from Google, that you can now schedule assignments through multiple classes all at the same time. So you can make the assignment, and then as you go to hit the assign button, you can decide, maybe one class has a different due date than a different class, which totally saves teachers, I'm sure, hours of time over the course of a school year, rather than having to go and do that, that individual tweaking per classes if you're teaching a subject level with multiple classes in your course. Continuing on for a couple of the other releases. So those are the big organization ideas that I love in Google Classroom. The other exciting addition is there's now an activity tab in Google Classroom, and you can actually go in and you can track student engagement. And so you can see when was the last time that they submitted an assignment, for example. And so when you're trying to look at, what are students doing with their time and how are they engaging, if they have outside homework where they're expected to be in Google Classroom and doing assignments, looking at that, all of that, to track how students are actually interacting and engaged with their work.
Speaking of interaction and engaging, thank you guys so much for checking out the show tonight. We do one of these live shows twice a month, I believe, usually on Thursday nights. We've got so many people out there, and this one here kind of means a lot. I love that people are out there trying to figure out what to do, where to go. So everybody that's out there, keep those comments coming. We love working with you guys. And you know what? I think it's time to give a little bit of round of applause for everybody out there who's listening. So thank you guys so much for doing all this stuff. Now, I've been following Tony Vincent for a while, and I think Tony's got some amazing things. Jen, would you like to share with us a little bit about what Tony's up to these days?
Yeah, sure. One of the things that I thought was really timely is letting teachers know how they can create custom images to really personalize things like their classroom header or Google Forms or their YouTube channel. And teachers often just don't know how to do this, and more importantly, even what size those images need to be so that they fit just right and aren't stretched out and looking kind of like fuzzy. And so Tony Vincent had a great thumbnail image that we've included in this slide that tells teachers what size those custom images need to be to ideally fit in these different applications. And I wanted to also share with folks watching is that if you're unfamiliar with how to create custom graphics, I have a blog post linked in the slide that goes over that. And some of my favorite resources for doing this. When you're creating custom graphics, probably the easiest tools to do this in without having any real graphic experience is to use just even Google Slides. People think about Google Slides as being a fixed size. And one of the things I love about slides is I've used them to make posters with kids or postcards with kids, because you can change the size anything you want. And so when you go into slides, under the file menu on the top left, there is a page layout option towards the bottom of that. And I love that you're demoing this, Jeff, because I want to point out to the audience that to quickly open up a new slide, you can go into the toolbar and, up into where you type in the web address and type in slides.new to open a new slide instantly without even having to navigate to Drive first. So it's great to demo that for people. But under the File Page Setup menu, you can choose Custom. And from Custom, you can set either in inches or in pixels so that you can exactly size the slide. And then everything you do in that slide will be sized accordingly to fit just right into that graphic. We mentioned earlier in the show Slides Mania as a resource, and they actually have some wonderful templates that even have cutouts for where your picture might go, for example, in your Twitter header. But these are created all in Google Slides by doing this very thing, setting a custom size and then bringing images in. So you can do this pretty easily, and think about all of the ways in which you can make your different handouts or different environments like Classroom more personalized by adding these customized headers. And with some free tools that I mentioned in the slide, things like the Noun Project is one of my favorite tools to search for icons that can be recolored and used with attribution for free or for a pretty low cost. I think it's $10 a year for teachers. If you look for the Noun Project education plan, you can use them without even citing the source. And those images come in a transparent background and can be searched very easily with a keyword. I often share the Noun Project, not just when I'm talking to people about making things look pretty, but more importantly, with all of the work that we're doing in our schools for supporting English language learners, for example, and very young learners where graphics are so important. Finding the appropriate graphic quickly is so important, and so the Noun Project is a fantastic resource for quickly sourcing easy to interpret graphics that are a solid color on a transparent background. And these can be layered beautifully in things like slides so that a combination of a series of different graphics can be brought together to create a really customized design. Canva was mentioned earlier in the show by Jolie as how she designed that beautiful graphic on the cover of her plan book. And Canva accepts these transparent images, these PNG files, very easily into their interface and allows you to layer them and organize them and resize them in any way that you want so that you can create that custom look. So yeah, I just thought it would be helpful for people to know that these are the sizes of those images, and this can be done without a lot of experience in making graphics look good. It's incredible how quickly you can start to bring those things together with individual pieces to create a very custom look.
Now, Jen, I'm going to put you on the spot because in addition to Tony's website, there is another amazing resource online to get all your Google goodies. Do you know anything about this website?
It's been very quiet for the last summer months, Jeff. I'm embarrassed to say.
But look at all the Google goodness on here. Bring math concepts to life, picture-based checklists, pack up your content. Lots of great stuff over there. What is that website that they can go to learn more about all the other great stuff that Google can do?
Thanks, Jeff. So teachingforward.net is my blog. There is a link actually in the slide to navigate to a blog post specifically about creating graphics using these tools to give teachers some support in that process. But I encourage teachers to give it a try. It's amazing how professional things can look with a few extra minutes in creating these customized graphics. All of the graphics that I make for my blog post header are done using these strategies of creating those in either Canva or Slides and using Noun Project graphics and just simply clustering them in together to create a really unique look.
And don't forget, the other great place we want to share with you guys is gegNewEngland.com. Check it out for all your good stuff. And don't forget tonight, guys, use that hashtag. We want to hear from you guys. Tweet us out at GEGNewEngland. We are looking forward to a great school year, but we are not done yet. We've got some more amazing things. I'm going to pass the baton all the way up to the great state of Maine. Eric, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, so I love to do this kind of a fun activity when kids are coming back from summer break. Now, normally it's where have you been during summer break, that kind of thing, where you chat around the circle if you're in elementary. Maybe it's a blog or a journal entry when you get older, but I like to visually map it out, partially because I'm a maps guy anyway. But, you know, where this year was tricky with travel and not everybody got a chance to go somewhere, you could also phrase it as where did you go, or where would you like to go, or what's your favorite space. The great thing about My Maps, which is part of Google Drive, is that you can upload a spreadsheet or a CSV file of places and data, and then it'll visually map it onto a world map. So pro tip for teachers out there is you could create a quick little Google form about where do you go this summer, or where's your favorite place. The kids could fill all that out, which of course dumps to a nice little spreadsheet. the teacher can then go into My Maps, upload this spreadsheet, and it layers all of these points all over the map of where people have gone or their favorite places. The beauty of it is, just like anything else in Google, you can then reshare that out to your whole class through Seesaw or Google Classroom, and then kids can add to it. So now they can add images, or they can add certain text to it, or what they did while they were there, or try to convince people why they're there. And the great part about it is you're just training them on something that, eventually we could use, and we can flash that. How might you use this later on? Because you certainly can map out literature paths of what you're reading in school, or battlefields, or it just applies to so many different curriculum contents, and it saves Right to Drive. So it's a nice little spot to have and layer all these things onto maps.
I love using Google My Maps. If I always refer to it as, it's like Google Docs, but with maps, because you can do it, you can collaborate on it, you can save things. It's great for not only just geography, but with maps and stuff like that. Even with math, you can sit here and say, how far is it between point A and point B, right? And then you
Absolutely.
can go C and then D, and you can figure out, I don't know these words, angles and vectors and bisects and dioramas and okay, I'll stop for that.
Yeah.
But the point is, you can do all these amazing things. And what I like to do is I always ask this question. If I go all the way out to here, and mostly kids don't get this, which is why I like this question, but I always go, hey, if I do this, why is it not a straight line? And I just wait to see if the kids understand that the earth is not flat. So lots of good stuff on there. Eric, thanks so much for wait, stop.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Now I'm in the middle.
Who's captaining the ship after all?
Yeah, Sully. All right, here we go. We're going to go to the next trip today. And if you guys have any great Google Maps tips or tricks, please put the links and stuff in that chat. Yeah, good stuff here. Jennifer, you are up.
Got to unmute first. Sorry.
Up there. You're up there.
Now I'm up the top. I'm not going to get covered up when I'm
not
talking.
going to put a graphic on top of you. Go ahead.
So I've been reflecting a lot on what I can focus on when I start back up soon. And I know that for me, what happened last year is that along with several teachers, we realized that there was a lot of things that we didn't know the students didn't know, especially after a pandemic year where we were like, well, they must know Google Apps because they've been on computers all year. So, but it actually became quite obvious that they were lacking in a lot of their Google skills, and like basic Google skills too. So I love John Sowash. If you guys don't follow him, he's fantastic. I've linked his blog website where it says John Sowash on the slide, and then there's some additional links in the speaker notes of the slides. But he does all things Google and Chromebook. And he had a recent blog post about student technology skills and what students at different grade levels should know. And kind of it focused me at least on what I can focus on with my teachers and my students at grades 9 through 12. So what I really liked about it was that he asked the questions like, what do you need to teach your elementary students? What should a middle school student be able to do on a Chromebook? Because I don't know about you guys. I don't really know answers to those questions. Like, we have the ISTE standards, we have our state standards, but beyond that, it's hard to know what they should be knowing to prepare them for, beyond school and life and workforce. How do you teach high school students new tech skills without annoying them? Like, that's happened to me more than once, because the playing field is not level, especially by the time you get to high school. So, Jeff, if you could just click on that student tech skills checklist. This is actually a copy of his recommended sort of checklist and where to start. And what I like is that he gives it to you as a template, so you can take it. It's a little bit hard to see now, but there we go. He gives it to you as a template so you can use it, and you can tweak it the way that you need to in order to fit with your school goals or your district goals. And it walks you through elementary, middle school, and high school. Again, you can just take it and use it the way that you want. And as you progress through the grades, things get a little bit more developed. And by the time you get to high school, it's got not only the checklist, but it's also got the hyperlinks in the right-hand column of examples and how to do those certain things. The other thing that he talks about, which I've used in the past and it just continues to develop more and more, is Google's Applied Digital Skills curriculum. And this is just a great place to go if you need a lesson, a unit. I don't know if anybody, I'm going to put people on the spot. Has anyone in this GEG group used Applied Digital Skills with classes or coached to use it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking for my unmute. So I have shared this out with teachers, and we've done used it for there's like a resume piece that's pretty cool. I think what's kind of neat about it is that it's all very practical. Not to repeat the fact that it's called Practical Digital Skills, but it's very purpose driven, which I think is really important. We're trying to teach these skills, but in a context that has meaning and value. Jen, I agree. Like it's such a great resource for that reason, because it does provide that context and value for students, when I think teachers sometimes struggle to think about, well, how do I teach these skills? And I don't want to do it in isolation. And how do I do it so that it's a meaningful part of my teaching? And the support that's there for teachers and students is really great, because they have those videos embedded, and it really guides the student through each step so that they know what to do and in completing sort of the goal project that they're working on.
Yeah. And you can use it as a teacher, but you can also use it as a student or a parent or guardian too. So depending on who your audience is, or who you are and what your role is with a digital learner, there's something there for everybody. Those are my little tech tips for tonight.
Very, very nice, Jennifer. And
so Google tweeted this out recently, and I thought it was very timely, but they are sharing 11 tips for returning to in-person learning. And they tweeted this infographic out, and I thought it was great. So they gathered some of these ideas during one of their Google Twitter chats. They gathered these ideas from educators around the world, and they put together this infographic, and I thought it had some great tips here, encouraging students to reflect in their journals, to foster collaboration. We know that that's one of the ISTE standards, with tools like Jamboard, and to meet students where they are at. So I find that to be very important, that we differentiate our instruction, and the G Suite makes it pretty easy to do that, especially using tools like Google Classroom. We can assign different tasks to our different learners, and add different accessibility options like the mode extension, and build our relationships with families and guardians. So I know in the beginning of the school year, that's really a focus, is building the relationships with our new students. So I just thought this had some great tips, and I know I am excited for the last tip to continue working with my PLN and a great network where I can practice different apps and grow and continue to learn. So I just thought this was a nice infographic that we could include tonight.
But Jolie, here's my question here. How does somebody find a great PLN? Let's just happen to say that they're in the New England states. Where would they go to join and to become a member of, and to really get some support in bringing in Google Apps?
Well, the gegnewengland.com website is a great place to start. So when you visit the website, you can click to join, and you'll gain access to our Google Educator group, where you can subscribe to our mailing list and post questions and learn, share resources. So we launched when did we launch? April? So it's only been a few months, but we already have hundreds of educators across New England participating in our Google group and sharing resources. And we're looking to really build our network up this fall. So we kind of took a break this summer to unwind, and now we're ready to get back at it. And the Google Educator Group New England would be a great place to start.
Very, very cool. Lots of good stuff on here. And guys, we've been doing this now for the last couple of months. We are so excited to have you guys here, but we are not done. We've got some great events coming up. Does anybody want to share some of the new and exciting things that are happening in the world of Google, or even in your own state's professional learning opportunities?
So I just want to mention too, because some of the things that we talked about tonight were related to what are considered additional services for Google, the Maps piece, the digital tool that Jen Thomas was talking about with the applied digital skills, right? So those tools, it's really important for teachers to be aware and any technology administrators to be aware who might be hearing this broadcast, that there have been some changes that are coming into play on September 1st. These changes will require administrators to provide information to designate that students are allowed to use those tools because they are not covered in the standard agreement with education organizations, and will make those services unavailable until that is addressed in the admin console. So if teachers are trying to navigate to these things that we've shared after September 1st and seeing that those are not accessible, just contact your technology administrator so that they can resolve that issue for you. But just to be aware of that, I just wanted to mention that since it's fairly fresh information from Google, and it's happening just to meet some privacy guidelines that are national and statewide that are coming into place around that time of year. But for those of us returning to school at that time, it's not the best timing for that to happen. So I just wanted to give people a heads up about it. And yeah, I think we should be sharing out our next event. Julie, you want to tell them what we'll be talking about next month?
Absolutely. So on September 16th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please come back and join us for our next meeting, which will focus on the topic of creating formative assessments with Google. So Google makes it really easy for teachers to create and assign formative assessments, which are critical to improve student learning. So we're really excited to share some ideas with you on September 16th. So please come back and join us. Same place, same time. And all of the resources that we have been sharing are available in our slide deck, which I did just post in the chat and on our website. And we also have a nice resource library on our website at gegnewengland.com. So make sure you stop by, check out our resources, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and say hello. We're excited to get to know you and learn from you as well.
Jolie, this resources place is amazing. How did you build this? What tool did you use to put all this together?
Well, a few of us in the GEG New England used Data Studio. So if you are unfamiliar with Data Studio, it works off of Google Sheets, and it's a really nice way to curate resources and apply your filters for your audience to view and access. And it's a really intuitive tool. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but we have a lot of fun learning more about Data Studio. So you can check out Data Studio at datastudio.google.com, and you can see an exemplar on our website, gegnewengland.com.
And it looks like it's so easy just to put it into a Google site. That seems so nice and convenient.
It is. We just added the link and voila, there it is.
So that wraps up this episode of GEG New England. Again, I hope you guys have a chance to not only check out the website, follow us on Twitter, hit that bell, and subscribe to all the different places that you're listening to this on. And guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today and making GEG New England your home for professional development. Until next time, everybody, keep up the great work in your classrooms and keep on going. I'm so excited for this school year. Have a great time, guys.